Hey guys, Audiente Gaming here, and today we're going to be doing the Shattered Veiled main Easter egg run. I wasn't able to do it with my typical teammates because everyone was just kind of busy this weekend, and this Easter egg is one of those long ones. Takes a lot of steps, takes a lot of time. You kind of have to previously know what you're doing to be able to get through the whole thing, so this is just the beginning of the Easter egg. The game kind of babysits you at the beginning, giving you markers on where to go and what to do. But as soon as you get the elevator working and you go down to Samantha's room and you get to the Pack-a-Punch, they stop giving you clues. So yeah, essentially you just want to get down here, Pack-a-Punch your gun, look around. There's a hidden door that you're supposed to get to, but once you get to round 10, you'll get the zombie, purple-dyed zombie, different name. Once you kill him, he'll drop a floppy disk, which you're supposed to pick up. Go back upstairs. Once you make your way upstairs, you want to make your way to the main hall and go east, which should lead you to this room with the computer. Insert the floppy disk, and it's going to start a mini lockdown with some vermin and some parasites. Just survive that really quick, then walk up back to the computer, interact with the printer, and it'll give you a code. With this code, you go to the room with PhD, and the letters should match up with one of those clusters of letters in there. Once you figure out that should give you a 4-digit code, which you go downstairs to Samantha and you enter it. Once you enter the code, this elite zombie will spawn in, and you'll have to do your best to kill him as fast as possible. Once you kill him, he will drop a severed arm. But yeah, you're supposed to pick that up, make your way over to the armory, and this is essentially how you start the Easter egg without spending money or gobblegums. You craft the ray gun Mach 2. This isn't like any other ray gun. This has 3 different variants of upgrades that you could do. So you're just supposed to pick up a bunch of items around the map to be able to do the lockdowns and upgrades. You will have to go around the map and shoot these crystals, which at some point will drop you an empty canister. Once you have the canister, you can go to 3 locations in the map to fill it up with energy. I chose the one that's down by Samantha's room, down the hallway. You open up a cave with a bomb, and it leads you to this ritual section. This run requires 2 monocles and the empty canister. Once you set up the canister in the back of the cave, and you use the monocles to reflect this light towards the statues, you'll see that they start becoming alive. And you gotta do this step 3 times to fully fill up the canister and be done with this step so you can move on to the next one. Nothing hard. I was doing it by myself. My teammates were kind of doing something else, which is okay because sometimes having less zombie spawns on you is a lot better than having everyone in that room and having all the zombies spawn on you. Finished up all 3 of them. Remember, once you get the light looking towards the statue that you want, you have to go to the crystal and melee the crystal to send that signal through the lasers, and then it'll get to the statue, it'll make it come to life. And if you have the ray gun upgraded, you should be able to take out this doppelgast insanely fast. Yep, that's all 3 steps. Once you get the canister filled up, you can take that canister, and depending on the color, you go to one of these machines, and this is the upgrade for the ray gun. This turns it into a shotgun ray gun that will shoot 3 rays at the same time. Not my favorite, but it's the first one that I did, and like I said, I wasn't playing with my regular teammates, so this was basically a solo in squad. This is another soul capture ritual that you're supposed to do right in front of the painting. Once you collect enough souls, the painting will open up, and you make your way inside of the room. You look for this red flask that then you take to the 3 different spawns around the map. Once you fill up one of the cups, it should start a small little lockdown with one of the new elite bosses, the elders. Take care of all 3 of them, and you should have this little symbol floating above the cup after you're done with it. Once you're done with that one, you can make your way to the main room with the skeleton, go up to the 2nd floor, and once you find the flask there, fill it up, and it should start the 2nd lockdown. Nothing too complicated. Like I said, I was doing this essentially solo in a squads game, so you don't really want to have everyone in the area that you're doing it so that the zombies don't all spawn on you, but this is the 3rd spawn. They just spawn randomly. This one spawned on the bridge, but yeah, if you have the ray gun, you can just absolutely fry them. With all 3 of those done, you can make your way back to the mansion, go to the elevator room, and you should see these 3 numbers appear in the walls around the elevator. Memorize them, and then go upstairs towards the commander's room, and you will find this little safe with a 3-digit code that we got from the wall downstairs by the elevator room. Once you enter those numbers, you can open it up, make sure you don't die because it is a tight spot, 2 entrances only. You pick up this ritual item, you go back to the painting room, you go to the altar, you interact with the altar, and it starts this lockdown where you could do this by yourself, but since I pinged, my teammates came running and they kind of helped out. So with these lockdowns, they're gonna have the elders or elite zombies will have a shield that can only be damaged by the ray gun, the upgraded ray gun for that specific lockdown. So as you can tell, there's a purple hue in the room, so you would want to use the purple upgraded ray gun to damage his shield, and once you damage the shield, you do a lot of damage with the shield off, and then your teammates can also shoot him. Now that we're done with that, we can move on to the next ritual. This is by far my most hated step in this whole Easter egg. It's so RNG. If your teammates are there and they don't know what they're doing, they will just kill the elite zombies and won't let you kind of like progress. So previously to this, I sat around, I made my teammates move away from the area, and I had the abominations only chasing me. So you gotta get the abominations to shoot the small rocks with their laser, and then once all of the 3 rocks are lit up, have them run into it with a dash attack. Once that all 3 are done, the rocks will start pouring in souls into the middle, and you'll get a bunch of vermin and zombies spawning in. So you just gotta protect it. You pick up your canister again, you go back to one of these upgrade machines. This is the blue automatic ray gun, probably my favorite. With this ray gun, once it's upgraded and you have your perks and everything, you essentially just want to make your way into the cellar that my teammates had already opened. So I gotta give them credit for that, because you're supposed to pick up a broken lamp, put it next to the lamp that is working, and it gives you like a pattern that you're supposed to repeat, and once you repeat that pattern, it opens up. It's pretty easy, but I've never done it myself, so gotta give props to my teammates there. Repeat the soul capturing ritual in front of the painting, this time with the blue ray gun. Next, I picked up the bell. Yes, you pick up the bell, you go up to the bar, place the bell down, and on one of your guns, you can pick up brain rot as an ammo mod. Start killing zombies. Once you turn a zombie into an ally and you ring the bell, have him climb over the bar to give you the metal flask that is a little hard to get, but nothing impossible. You should get it in the first 3 tries. Once you have the alcohol bottle, make your way down to the cellar, go through the blue door, and pick up ammo. I waited a little bit so my teammates had enough time to be able to make it down to the cellar before I started the boss fight, but When I tried to get out, I saw an absolute wall of zombies, so I just started it and kind of hoped that my teammates would come down to help me so that I would get this done as fast as possible. This boss is exactly the same way. He will just run at you with the shield. Once you break the shield with the designated ray gun for that lockdown, he will be able to take damage from both of everyone, but if he has the shield on, no one can damage him other than you with the ray gun. So just keep that in mind. This blue teammate just kept on going down and down and down, but we just kept on rezzing him because if you don't res him and it's just me and the other teammate, it's a little bit harder. So this is the last lockdown with the last canister, and you're supposed to pick up 4 seeds from the little flowers all around the map. You plant the seed in one of these incubators and then they grow. You defend it. Once you finish all 4 of them, you can pick up the yellow canister, bring it to the machine near spawn, upgrade your gun. This essentially turns the ray gun into a marksman rifle. Big damage, but very slow DPS. So you go back into the library room, you hold X on the machine next to the yellow painting, and start collecting souls. Shouldn't be too hard, but like I said, I was doing this basically solo, so if I go down, I know for a fact my teammates are not gonna come to save me. So take your time doing this. Once you're done doing this, it gives you access to the room, but there's nothing in here. So this is a little finicky, but you gotta use Ether Shroud. You pop your Ether Shroud and you walk around the area and you'll see glowing items, glowing blue items. You're gonna need 3 of them. I got really lucky that all 3 of them were in the same area, and they make this noise and they glow, so it's a little hard to pick up. So these 3 books, they have some signs on them. If I were you, I would just pause the video and look at the signs that I clicked on, because if you click them in the wrong way, it won't open this hidden treasure. Once you pick up the hidden treasure, you go back into the painting room, interact with the pillar, and it starts the last lockdown with an amalgam. But like I said, this ray gun does a lot of damage, so shouldn't really be scared of the bosses once you have the upgraded ray gun, because you break the shield really quickly, and if you're hitting criticals, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage. Again, this ray gun is the slowest firing rate, DPS, but yeah, if you just keep moving around, have your teammates kind of take the heat off of you a little bit, it helps. But yep, that is essentially every step that you need to do to get to the Shattered Veil main Easter egg boss fight. I won't really show you the boss fight simply because I was with only one other teammate. We kind of died in the first 10 minutes of the boss fight, so we lost our perks. We were just running around kind of wasting time. This specific video is not to show you how to beat the boss fight. It's more to guide you in a linear path so you can finish all the Easter egg steps and be able to get to the boss fight. But yeah, this is going to be everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.